2 scores, and this one's going to haunt me.
Mayfield throws the ball downfield. Picked off. It's intercepted. The first takeaway by the Falcons.
They're throwing for the end zone. It's Pitts. Did he hold on? Touchdown, Atlanta.
It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it.
So Atlanta with a chance to win this. Kick by Gonzalez. It is good. Atlanta wins.
To win the division, we have to win out. That's as plain and simple as it is.
First Take is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Yep, Baker Mayfield keeping it real after an L last night. Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Take. Shay Cornett here with you. Stephen A. back in the building.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
My brother, looking sharp.
What up, my guy?
If I should say so myself.
Looking real presidential.
I approve that message. Where's my man at, Cam? What up, baby?
Cam Newton's in Florida. Good morning, Cam.
How we doing?
We're doing great, buddy.
Cam's
Like
backdrop is glorious.
I know, isn't it?
Where's that? That's a nice backdrop.
He's in
right
Orlando.
there. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'll be looking up to Stephen A. so much. I was like, man, he be making Miami sound so good, so I had to go to the next best thing in Orlando. So, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all cold over there, but, it's a little
really
right
cold,
where I'm
actually.
at. You feel me?
You got us today, but I will just avoid the cushion. Orlando ain't better than Miami.
Okay.
Let's get that out.
You said second best.
Okay, great.
In Florida, right?
Come on, bro.
Speaking of Florida, let's go to Tampa Bay, right? The Bucs were up 14 points in the fourth quarter last night against the Falcons at Raymond James Stadium and then collapsed, losing to Atlanta on a walk-off field goal. Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins against the Bucs is really something. He went to work last night, threw for 373 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts was really good as well, 166 yards and 3 TDs, handing the Bucs their 5th loss now in 6 games. In game, they had to have at home. Head coach Todd Bowles, none too pleased post game.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You gotta care enough where the hurts. You gotta care enough where the hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
All right. I said he was none too pleased, and that might have been sugarcoating even a little bit. We'll get to the division in a minute, but let's focus in on the Bucs here last night, and obviously that post-game presser from Todd Bowles. We are not accustomed to hearing this soft-spoken, usually when a microphone is in front of him, Todd Bowles, have that many beeps on air. So, Stephen A., your reaction to Todd Bowles' press conference last night?
I was somewhat shocked. I've known Todd Bowles for years, ever since he was with the New York Jets. Got a lot of love for him. I've never heard him speak like that in my life. Ever. He does not talk like that. That's not him. And it just really, really illuminates the level of disgust he feels with his own team. You are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're the Falcons, rather. And you're facing a 3rd and 28 on your final drive. And what do? You complete passes of 14 yards to Kyle Pitts Sr., who just shredded them all night long for 166 yards. And then on a 4th and 14 to David Sills. How do you let that happen? A Tampa Bay defense, a Todd Bowles defense. This is where he hangs his hat on defense. And so when you see something like that happening, it gives you an incredible reason to feel alarmed. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are not what they used to be. They are not what they were expected to be. They are nose diving before our very eyes, and they're actually very lucky to still be in control of their own destiny, because the team that they're competing with is a team they go against 2 times in the last 4 weeks of the season, RC.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are imploding, and Todd Bowles feels the pressure. Todd Bowles don't talk like that.
No.
If you ever been around Todd Bowles in private, Todd Bowles doesn't talk like that. No. We're talking about a man with a mild-mannered demeanor that even when upset, even when correcting players, is respectful, is soft-spoken, is someone who approaches things in a very measured manner. When you're a defensive specialist, when your calling card is defense, and you're not only the head coach, but you're the play caller on the defensive side, and this Kirk Cousins, y'all.
Yeah.
Right? This the same Kirk Cousins who was benched last year.
That's right.
The same Kirk Cousins who went through this entire offseason and couldn't garner enough in assets in the trade market to be traded off of a team.
All after signing for $100 million.
To be traded off of a team in his second year. And to now have him go for 373, Bijan Robinson, 175 yards. You already mentioned what Kyle Pitts was able to do. And for Sills Jr., to be the guy to make the big catch on 4th down, this is inexcusable. This is a 6-2 team that started this season. They're 1-5 in their last 6, and your last 2 losses are to the Saints, nothing to play for. The Falcons, nothing to play for at home in Tampa. Inexcusable, exactly like Todd Bowles said.
Exactly, when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, too. Go ahead, Cam Newton.
I'll say this. I mean, this is basically Todd Bowles saying the pressure is being turned up around him, up under him, and he understands the sense of urgency that he has to coach with as well as his team has to play with. I mean, it's evident. You mentioned the 3rd and 28, but also I'll have you reminded about this fact. This was the first time all year that you had Emeka and Juba, you had Chris Godwin, and then you had Mike Evans as well. These guys were supposed to give you the boost that you was in dire need of searching for all season. And Todd Bowles knows that. He knows that, we were supposed to be the favorite to win the NFC South. If we find a way to squander this opportunity, it's not going to be good for his coaching stability. So, therefore, when you have these type of outcries or outpours, these are the reasons why. And it's no reason why, he has turned to that version of himself because of the frustration.
Falcons overcame 19 penalties.
Yes.
For 125 yards. On top of what Bijan Robinson did, on top of what Kirk Cousins did, you did penalize yourself 19 penalties for 125 yards, and you still win this game on the road with a 14-point deficit in the 4th quarter. It's moments like that when a coach loses his job. And I hate that we're talking about Todd Bowles in that fashion, because the way he sounded with the players, like, look in the mirror and understand this ain't your job, this is your livelihood. This is how you pay your bills. Have some more pride, et cetera, et cetera. Those are direct shots. So even outside of the cussing, outside of the profanity, the kind of things that he said was an attack against their manhood, which means they're showing they ain't being the men they supposed to be as professionals, because Todd Bowles would never ever talk about them like that. He would never do that unless it was warranted.
He said the quiet part out loud, right? The things that we normally keep in the locker room have now spilled over into the media. And that's what happens when you lose 5 of 6. Remember, Stephen A., Shay, Cam, we were talking about Baker Mayfield winning the league's MVP through the first half of the season. Now there are no longer those discussions because his team can't finish football games.
The Buccaneers also have a Kirk Cousins problem. They do not know how to slow that man down. I am sorry. Their last 3 games, Kirk Cousins against the Buccaneers, he has like 1,200 yards. He's undefeated, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. They have no idea how to slow Kirk Cousins down. That in itself is an issue if you have to face him more than one time a year. Let's go now to the division, though. The Buccaneers trail the Carolina Panthers in the NFC South after dropping back-to-back games in the division. We already talked about that, right? To the Falcons and to the Saints. Do we still believe, though, that the Bucs can actually win the NFC South amidst this free fall? What do you think, Cam?
My heart says yes, but the reality of, the circumstances is really important to know. But the thing about the Buccaneers that they do have, as Stephen A. had mentioned, they do control their own destiny, and understanding that they do play the Carolina Panthers twice. The only hiccup that I have in question in regards to the Carolina Panthers is playing the Seattle Seahawks. And the Buccaneers beat the Seattle Seahawks. That's the only kind of divot in the road that really has me questioning if the NFC South champs will be the Carolina Panthers or not. I'm extremely pleased of how Bryce Young has come into his own this year, playing behind a very stingy and opportunistic defense, the running game with Rico Dowdell and Chubb. It's so many different aspects that you want to root for the Carolina Panthers, especially being in my seat. But they have a tougher road than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, unfortunately, at this particular.
Well, they do have a tougher road, but here's where they have an advantage. Right now, if they win this weekend, at New Orleans, they're a game up on Tampa. Not only that, their record, NFC South record, they're 2-1 right now. That would make them 3-1, which would also put them a game up against Tampa in conference play, in divisional play rather, okay? And their conference record is 5-3, whereas Tampa's is 5-5. This would put them at 6-3. So they'd have a better conference record. They have a better record within the conference. They'd have a better record within the division. They'd have a game up on Tampa, and then you have those two meetings, which means they could afford